Hello, my name is Skip, and this is my review of Captain Phillips. Now, Captain Phillips is played by Tom Hanks, and this is the story about him and his crew having been attacked by Somali pirates a few years ago, I think around 2009. Now, Captain Phillips, he is a man who thinks he knows what he's doing, and he has kind of a good grasp of the seas, and he happens to be in an area of Africa, off the coast of Africa, that he hasn't really been, but he just wants to get this shipment done and go on. And little does he know that a little band of Somali pirates is coming after him and his crew. But he's pretty slick. He kind of hides his crew from the pirates until they kind of get a hold of one of the men, and they force him off the ship. So while they're being forced off into a lifeboat, they kidnap Captain Phillips, and he ends up in the lifeboat too. And this is where a lot of the drama and kind of action and stuff like that happens. So we have the Navy that's called in, and the Navy SEALs and so forth. But I'm not really going to give away what happens. If you read the news, or maybe even read Richard Phillips' book, you might already know what happens in this movie. But I think Paul Greengrass really keeps the drama and the suspense going up until the very moment that this story ends. And you might have heard some things about some of the people not believing, what Captain Phillips said and his side of the story. This movie is based on his book, so we're going on what Paul Greengrass is putting on the screen. And what I saw on the screen was fantastic. I thought it was suspenseful, very well done. It looked like it was very realistic to me. And that's the thing about Paul Greengrass. He does these kinds of movies, like United 93 and the first two Bourne movies. Green Zone. These are realistic movies. He has a real good handle on how to deal with military operations and these kinds of things. And so you feel like you're right there. You're right there with Captain Phillips in this instance, and his crew, and in the military. And you're really on the edge of your seat. If you didn't know this story or hadn't read anything about this, I heard the story, of course, like everybody, but I still was gripped by what was going on, and whether he was going to get away, or if they were going to kill him, or if he was going to get captured, or whatever after the fact. And so, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I really do believe this is a good movie, and I think Paul Greengrass kept me interested, and I don't see a reason why people go and see this movie wouldn't have the same thoughts that I had. It's like, wow, this is crazy what was going on, and what's going to happen next. And that's what makes for a good movie, and that's why we go to the movies, for movies like this. And I really believed Tom Hanks as this person, Captain Phillips, Richard Phillips, and I thought he did a great job. When you see Tom Hanks in a movie, you instantaneously believe what's on screen. You believe him as this character, and that's what makes for a great actor, and that's why Tom Hanks is a two-time Oscar-winning actor. And I think Paul Greengrass is one of our better directors out there, especially in these kinds of realistic movies, and that's why I really recommend Captain Phillips, and I think it's a good movie. And if you want, something, and also I love hearing stories like this, realistic stories portrayed in movies, because sometimes you hear these fanciful ideas of what movies can turn out to be of these stories, but this seemed like it was a pretty realistic portrayal of what happened, and that's why I really give Captain Phillips a big see it. And this is Skip, and this has been my review of Captain Phillips from the fourth row.